Welcome back to lightloveandspirit.com. In a previous video, I talked about productivity, how to be more efficient, and how to actually get results instead of just blow through your to-do list with some of your things being done well, some of them not so well, okay? And it has to do with routine, readjusting, being honest with yourself about where your time is going, and just being more efficient overall. In that video, I talked a little bit about overwhelm and how when we are overwhelmed, the ego steps in with the loudest voice that it's had in a long time, and it says, "You're fine. This is too much for you. Just take a break, take a breath. It'll probably get done later. We don't have to do it right now. It's too much for you. You don't know where to start, so just don't do anything." This is also called self-sabotage. We self-sabotage ourselves all the time on different levels and different aspects of our lives. Sometimes it's relationships, sometimes it's our jobs, sometimes it's our productivity. Excuse me. For me, I have a habit of self-sabotaging with procrastination, which is something that I mentioned in the last video. What I have done to retrain my brain to notice when I'm procrastinating is to tell myself, set yourself up for success. Set yourself up for success. Now, a lot of people are going to think I'm talking big picture with this. In the future, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. No, I'm talking an hour from now, tomorrow morning, or next week. That's what I'm talking about, because when we tell ourselves, I'm going to stop for gas in the morning, or I really don't feel like it right now, or I know we only have a little bit of milk left, I'll go tomorrow, or I'm just so tired right now, I really don't want to make my kids lunch, or whatever the case may be, those small tasks that we all put off. Another thing that I will do is emails. I am a one-woman show over here, as you can see, so I have videos to create, articles to write, content to edit, emails to draft. Then there's the admin side. I have all of these things to do, and I'm doing it mostly by myself. So what will happen with me is I'll say, okay, I'll respond to this email a little bit later, I'll respond to this email a little bit later, and then before you know it, a day has gone by and I'm trying to catch up on 50 emails that I have to respond to personally. On the other end of that, which is where we get into the multitasking, which is also a way that I know others will subconsciously self-sabotage, is when we are putting off another project, we get into our emails, right? So if there's something else we know we have to do, I'll just go check my email real quick, knowing darn well we're going to be in those emails for an hour and a half once we start slipping down the rabbit hole. So this is the other thing that I will do. I'll get into my emails, and then before you know it, there is no time left for my project. Project is still hanging over my head. I have not set myself up for success. So that little reminder, that little mantra for me is set yourself up for success. And because I've been doing it for so long, I have programmed my brain that when I start procrastinating, it shows up. Set yourself up for success. I may roll my eyes, stomp my feet, but in that moment, I do what it is that I need to do, usually a very small task, and then I feel this weight come off of my energy, off of my shoulders. Now, that's one way that we self-sabotage. Another way is by letting our ego speak too loudly. When we are working through the ego versus seeing and working through the eyes of our higher self, we are much more weighted. Our vibration is lower. We talk ourselves out of things. I heard it said recently that we buy ourselves out of things, okay? Things that would serve us by telling ourselves we can't do it, that it's too hard, that it will never be accomplished, that, I can just do it this one time, and then just this one time, and then I'll start tomorrow, and then I'll start tonight, I'll start Monday. We all have those things that we do. Or when it comes to relationships, thinking that we are not good enough to have a completely loving relationship, or thinking that we are unlovable for some reason. right? We have our little imprints. And let me tell you, 9 times out of 10, you did not come up with those yourself. They have been programmed into you somewhere along the line. Whether it was in your family, when you were a child, you saw it with your parents, them arguing, maybe your dad wasn't as loving as he could have been, or your mom wasn't as loving to you as she should have, as you thought that she should be. And then we have it show up when we think we're doing a really good job on something and somebody tells us that, it's okay. Or you didn't do it the right way, or it could have been done better. Or we have a talent and we're eager to show somebody, eager to share, and then we're criticized. So they come in small moments and small increments, but those small moments can really, really make a big impact on our lives as we go into adulthood. And then even as we have our own children, we start to see old patterns show up. Patterns that we swore we would never allow to show up. Or, there's just different things. You can apply this to any area of life. So you can apply self-sabotage to the small areas, as in productivity, to the bigger areas of relationship, and to even your own self-worth and what you are willing to allow yourself to achieve. So think of this in terms of career. If you came from a family that had scarcity or just enough was just enough, then that might be your mindset. And even if you're getting by and you're doing a little bit better than your family, you may notice that you want to achieve this next level and you keep going and you keep fighting and beating your head against the wall and doing everything that you know that you're supposed to do, but you're achieving very little results. This has to do with self-sabotage on a subconscious level. So one good way to find out where you're self-sabotaging and what stories you're telling yourself is to get in touch with your inner guidance system. So work on your intuitive abilities, become closer with your spirit guides, but always what's going to help is seeing through the eyes of your higher self. So when we are self-sabotaging, we are telling ourselves belittling stories. You're not good enough. You'll never achieve this. It's too much. It's too hard. I can't do that. I can't. I won't. We need to shift. We need to shift every single negative or low vibrational or ego-driven thought into one from the higher self. And the best way to do this is to simply ask, I would like to see this situation through the eyes of my higher self. Higher self, where am I holding myself back? Where am I sabotaging myself? How do I achieve my best and highest path through working with my higher self? Asking these questions, getting into meditation and asking these questions, getting a reading, working with your spirit team, working with a coach, digging deeper into those deep, deep, deep-seated emotional layers that's going to allow these things to come up for you. Before I started recording this video, I actually did a meditation, and it was really beautiful and something really unexpected. So what happened is I went into the meditation and called in my guides, my angels, like I always do. And we went into 3 different scenarios. So the first scenario, you walk up and in visualization and you see white curtains. You ask that your subconscious pull these curtains back and show you what you've been feeling, show you what's been going on in your life. I was disturbed with what I saw. It was a less than pleasant vision, which really I haven't got anything like that in years. So I kind of stood back for a second and I said, no, I've set my boundaries. I know I'm in the light. This is something that I need to see. So I stepped forward and I saw. Then you come out of it. You go to vision number 2. This would have a different colored curtain. I think in the meditation it was a green curtain. And then you ask your conscious mind to pull the curtains back and you look through the conscious mind. This was less dark, but it was different. It was, there was a lot of visualization in my meditation, and there was a lot of, there was just a lot of symbolism that meant things directly related to me. both were a surprise on how I was feeling, because I was thinking I'm okay. I'm thinking like everything's going good. I've just been a little tired. And then there's a lot coming up for me, right? Window number 3, you ask to see through the eyes of your higher self. Window number 3, completely different energy, completely different vibe. My energy felt lifted. I felt revitalized. I felt good. And it was the bigger picture. I saw the entire thing from above versus from in it. And I think that's a huge message, is when we're self-sabotaging, or in no matter what scenario that we're in, when we're in it, it's very, very hard to see the bigger picture. So when you step out and you ask your higher self to show you the bigger picture and you see it from above, you see that everything's working out and you see that everything's okay. And so in my last vision, through the eyes of my higher self, I saw everybody running around, being happy, being silly. I saw the world spinning around because, we have a lot going on in this world, and that's something that weighs very heavy on me as an empath, and I'm sure it does you too. So I saw the world just spinning and getting clearer, and the energy moving, and everything just being vibrant. So I know this has gotten a little long. I was only expecting it to be about 5 minutes, but if you do some kind of visualization where you ask your higher self, or some kind of meditation where you ask your higher self to show you areas where you have been self-sabotaging, and then you ask for a visual and what to do, and you ask to see the bigger picture, you can learn how to rewrite those things. So if this seems like, whoa, Ashley, this is just way too much for me, it sounds great, I have no idea how to do this, please use your members discount if you are in the Spirited Life membership, and get a coaching session or get a package of coaching sessions. We'll work on this together. Again, you can do this on your own in meditation. If you need a little help, a little guidance, come find me. I would be honored to work with you.